displaying the glory of God's creation by visiting every state park, national park, and national forest in the contiguous 48 states. Welcome to Parking Full Time with Big Dave the Parker.
Welcome back to Parking Full Time. I am Big Dave the Parker. The first hole is 220 feet. It's a par 3. We are at Deer Creek State Park. We are about 20 miles southwest of Columbus, Ohio. These first two holes play between the park road on the left and some dense woods over on the right. There is no elevation change on these first two holes. There's the first basket, and there's the view back to the tee from behind the basket. Second hole is 198 feet. It's a par 3. It's very similar to hole number 1, except it has a few more small trees here that you have to negotiate. These first two holes are not bad holes, but they are kind of filler holes in the sense that they're squeezed into this narrow strip of mowed grass area, and they're necessary in order to make the course route work. So they're not bad holes, but they do have kind of the filler feel. There's the view back to the tee from behind the second basket. Now the course really starts. The third hole is 459 feet. It is a par 5. There's a narrow chute of trees here that you have to throw out, but after that, the hole really opens up. This hole is a sharp dogleg right, and you can see there's a lot of dense woods there on the inside of the dogleg, so you have to really be careful how aggressive you get with your tee shot, and how much of this dogleg you try to bite off. There is plenty of room out to the left, and maybe this hole, based on its length, maybe it should be a par 4 instead of a par 5. There are actually several holes on this course that the par seems a little too high to me. On one hand, that doesn't really change how you play the hole. On the other hand, it is something that maybe could be a little bit better. They have nice Innova disc catcher baskets here. And there's the view back to the tee from behind the third basket. The fourth hole is 249 feet. It is a par 4, and it starts out very open here, although we are headed into a very tight area in the trees that you see up ahead around the basket. Again, maybe this hole is a little bit too short to be a par 4, but it is fairly tight up here around the basket. Also, you can see that there's a lot of wind blowing here. I captured this video on Thursday, October the 13th. The temperature was in the mid-60s. But wind can definitely be a factor on this course, especially in the open areas, like the previous couple of holes. Now the course heads into the dense woods. Fifth hole is 195 feet. It is a par 3, and it plays over a couple of shallow but steep ravines here. This is the first ravine, and then there's a second one just up ahead. I was very thankful for these bridges here. They got me over the ravines, over the creeks with no problem. Being a little careful here where I step. Again, that's a very steep area right here. And the surrounding woods are very dense. If you throw your disc into the woods here off the fairway, you're going to have a tough recovery shot and maybe even a tough time finding your disc. So lost discs are definitely a possibility on this course. There's the view back down the fifth fairway. Sixth hole is 225 feet. It is a par 4, and it's very similar to the previous hole, although there are a few small trees here that have to be negotiated now. Again, the par seems a little bit high for this hole, but maybe the par is justified with the tightness of the hole. With all these small trees here you have to negotiate. This hole actually plays the opposite direction as the previous hole, and back over the same two ravines. There's the sixth basket. tucked up against the corner of the open area here. And there's the view back to the tee. Hole number 7 is another tight wooded hole. It's 183 feet. It's a par 3, but unlike the two previous holes, this hole is back up on the ridgetop, and therefore this hole is pretty flat. You can see the seemingly random placement of small trees here that have to be negotiated. The basket's actually in a fairly open area, so if you manage to get through that jumble of trees, then a birdie is a very real possibility on this hole. The 8th hole is similar to the previous hole, but as you can see, there are fewer small trees here to negotiate. This hole is 177 feet long, and it is a par 3. The basket's tucked here in a nice little corner of the open area, and there is dense woods on 3 sides of the basket, so you need an accurate throw and a good line in order to approach the basket here. 9th hole, and of course the final hole on the front 9. It's 186 feet. It's a par 3. Most of the trees here are kind of off to just to the right of the basket, and so I would want to come in here with the left to right disc flight, and that's the easiest way to play this hole. Since this is the last hole on the front 9, I want to thank you for watching, as this channel would not be anything without the people who watch. I realize that every day, and I thank you every day. If you like this sort of thing, please click the thumbs up button. And if you really like this sort of thing, please click the subscribe button. That is the end of the front 9. I will see you on the back 9.